Good evening and welcome to the regular board meeting for the Board of School Directors of the School District of Springfield Township. And we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A reading of the mission statement.
The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community.
Ms. Karen?
Mr. Bedard?
Here.
Mr. Chapman?
Here.
Ms. Jordan?
Here.
Mr. Lapidus?
Here.
Ms. Nelson?
Here.
Mr. Ryer? Ms. Sarsfield?
Here.
Ms. Lipinski?
Here.
Dr. Tartuski?
Here. Announcements. The board at its discretion may videotape all or any portion of the public board meetings, subject to the limitations set forth in Policy 006.2, broadcasting of meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Okay. Okay. Oh, just EEH. Okay, great. Thank you. Approval of minutes. August 7th, 2018 interim meeting, board minutes A, and August 21st, 2018 regular meeting, board minutes B. Is there a motion? Motion. Second?
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Okay.
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Tartuski?
Aye. Reports and information. We'd like to ask for the EEHSP PTA report from Keisha Bronson.
She's actually moving her car.
Okay.
I was going to present, but he's decided to wait for her to come.
All right then. Should we do the student council report?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's invite up our student council representatives, Brendan Fleur and Sullivan Shackelford. Welcome.
Hi. I'm Sully Shackelford, and I'm a senior here at Springfield.
I'm Brennan, and I'm a junior at Springfield.
So this Friday, September 21st, the high school will host its annual activities fair. Similar to last year's, the fair will occur in the cafeteria during all lunches. Students will have the opportunity to learn about the school's extracurricular clubs and activities as they meet with members of the organizations. Homecoming week starts on October 8th, and the high school will be taking a trip back to the future. Spirit Week dress-up days include visiting the decades of the past. Friday, we will have the annual homecoming pep rally during school to hype up the student body for the big homecoming game. Prior to the game, we will host a tailgate in front of the stadium at halftime. Our 2018 King and Queen will be crowned. During lunches that week, tickets will be sold for the homecoming dance. The dance will be held in the cafeteria on Saturday, October 23rd from 7 until 10 p.m. On Friday, October 26th, the high school will turn pink. We seek to increase breast cancer awareness and raise funds for cancer research. During the day, we will wear pink, and that night, we will paint our stadium pink as we cheer for our Spartans. We're looking forward to a fantastic year, and thank you for your continued support of the Spartan community. Have a good night, go Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Please don't paint the chair.
We won't.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your report.
Okay, now we can have the EEHSP PTA report. Keisha Bronson.
Good evening. Of course, you'd start right when I go move the car.
That's okay. We're all a little fatigued.
Hi, I'm Keisha Bronson. I'm one of the co-presidents of the Enfield Erdenheim Home and School Partnership, i.e. AEHSP. Thank you for your time tonight. Just wanted to share a couple of things that we have done that we're going to do and a couple of changes for the year. So one of the things that we're actually looking to do is to get ourselves known a little bit. We've done a little bit of surveys over the summer and just talking to other parents And one thing we realize with as much as we do, a lot of people don't realize the things that we do are the EHSP. So we're trying to really push ourselves to have greater level of community involvement and more awareness. So you will start to see more events, hopefully, assuming the board approves it, the EHSP board, that are more adult-focused to be able to get more parents in, to be able to get more participation, because we have a very low volunteer rate. So we're trying to increase that this year. Things like design bingo, we're thinking about a beef and beer or something of that nature, kind of considering what the board would be okay with from an adult interest perspective, but you'll see more of those type of things getting promoted. Things that we've already done, so we had the kindergarten picnic this year. We had a huge turnout. I think a big part of that was because we were very intentional in offering it closer to the evening time, so we offered it at dinner time and offered pizza and water ice. So we had over 125 families come out of two something, so that was, over half actually came out. And we also did the back-to-school night dinners for the teachers, which a lot of people didn't realize. So that was actually very well received and welcomed, which is our second year doing that. We're adding a couple new committees, so we're going to look to re-engage the DADS committee. One of the things that we've heard in the past was that the DADS committee was heavily leveraged for manual labor. We are going to try to encourage more activity beyond just manual labor. So you'll see us kind of pushing some of that. And we also started a playground committee, which will start to help fundraise for the new K2 building. Our goal is $50,000 to match, out of fundraising, to match what the EHSP will be able to donate, which I think is $25,000. Don't quote me on that. We have an operating budget this year of $51,000 that will hopefully be approved at our first general body meeting, which is September 25th. A couple upcoming events. So the first book fair at Erdenheim is the 21st through the 28th, family night being open till 7 on the 26th. At Enfield, the book fair is the 15th through the 19th of October, family night being the 17th. And then we're doing a dine and donate at McGurk's, where they will actually give us 15% of all proceeds for anyone who brings in a flyer from 5 to 10 p.m. on October 24th. And that's the McGurk's that we're doing right over Bethlehem Pike. So we're trying to also continue to keep it in the district, in the community, with companies and organizations that will support us. We'll support them. So that's just a couple things that are coming up in the next 2 months.
Great. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Sorry, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
The events, like the one at McGurk's, is that open to only the elementary?
No, it's open to the whole community. The payback is only if you have a flyer. So
How are the flyers available?
So we post flyers on our Facebook page. We also post them on the What's Happening in Springfield, so we just don't limit it to the EEHSP. The principals are usually really good at pushing out our flyers or information and links to our flyers. It's also on our website. So there's many ways to actually get information. One of the things that hopefully you'll see this year, we're trying to be a little bit more intentional about coordinating our communications, because I think going back to people don't know who we are and things that we do, it's almost an over barrage of communication. So we're trying to be a little bit intentional. McGurk's will have the flyer up, but they're not going to have like a big poster or whatever. So if you go there and you frequent there, you'll probably see it. But again, we're just going to kind of go through our channels, but it's open to anybody in the community. And you just have to have the piece of paper for us to get.
They won't take it off or anything?
No, because what they do, they use it for their counting. So however many pieces of paper they get, they'll do 15% of those bills to give it back to us. So that's pretty common. So McGurk's is the first one. We're going to do Panera Bread, and we're looking to do Five Below near Christmas time.
They serve food.
And they serve food and alcohol. So a couple
Keisha,
things
if we
coming
can
up.
get some extras,
Yes.
then we can actually distribute them to the board members
Okay.
in their board packet,
Yep.
which will be in the beginning of October.
Okay.
So that'll be well before the
Should I
event.
just send it directly to
Yeah, send it
Duane
over
or to
me.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make sure they get them. So Walter, you'll be able to go.
If I can get a few extras, so my wife can bring other friends. so I don't-
Absolutely.
We
Yeah,
will
give
make
me a
sure we
bunch,
do
I'll
that.
get 'em out.
We will make sure we do that. There's a couple other things you can do too. I don't know if you guys know that we participate with the Giant A+ program. So if you shop at Giant and you identify the Springfield District School Partnership, but that's the official name, and I'll send you the flyer. But so the Giant A+, the Giant up the street, we get a portion of our proceeds from there. We get a proceeds from Box Tops, which I'm sure you guys have all heard. We're actually doing another contest in October. We usually raise about $2,500 every year through there, and Amazon. So Amazon has a Amazon Smiles. We make about 0.5% of all purchases through Amazon. So I'll send you shopping programs that we have that we can get a cut from for just regular activity. Absolutely. Any other questions? Thank you.
Great information.
Thank you, thank you.
Are we combining recognitions and awards for administrative reports?
No, we're going to call up Zach Fuller. Mr. Fuller, if you'd like to come up and talk about the recent Sportsmanship Award for the middle school.
I would love to do that.
Excellent. He did look kind of shocked, didn't he?
So we were awarded, every season, every coach gets to vote on the school with the best sportsmanship. And usually within the season, it can sometimes be a consolation prize. This is not that. So I was at a District 1 meeting with Mr. Payne this past week where we were presented with a banner and a certificate and a trophy because we got the most votes of all the coaches across sports for the entire school year. So it is really a great honor, and it's just more proof that we have wonderful kids which you know with. So I'm excited. You'll see that in the gym. You can see the certificate in our conference room, and you can see the trophy and the display case down there.
Congratulations, Zach, to you and Jason and all the students. I think that's really phenomenal.
I think so too.
I
I take credit for it all.
Well, you should. Why not? Absolutely. And it was very nice because Zach announced it at the back-to-school night the other evening, got a nice round of applause from everyone who was there. So it's a very well-deserved honor. And it's also nice, I think, for us to be able to kind of puff out our chest in pride about a sportsmanship award in addition to the other kinds of academic accolades that we sometimes get. It's really nice to know that our kids are good kids when they're playing other kids throughout the county and in PIAA. So thanks, Zach, and congratulations. We did have some other middle school awards for students. They were going to be here this evening along with their teachers, but they've asked if they could hold off until October, so we're going to do that. But look, you can look forward to that next month, that we're actually going to have some students who won some individual recognition that we'll bring before the board.
Great. Administrative reports, Dr. Hacker.
As I mentioned, we've had a number of our back-to-school nights, 3 out of the 4. This Thursday evening, we have our high school back-to-school night. So for those of you who have high school students, I'm sure you're looking forward to meeting your student's teacher or teachers. And the 3 that we've had so far went extraordinarily well. We had excellent crowds at each one of them, and it was a great kickoff to the school year, and I'm sure parents appreciated the opportunity to be able to go into their children's classrooms and hear from their teachers about the exciting things that are going to be happening over the learning school year. I have 2 other announcements. One is, and the board members have a flyer in their packet about our exciting groundbreaking ceremony that is scheduled for a brand new K-2 building. That groundbreaking is going to occur on Wednesday, October 3rd. There is a rain date because it is scheduled to be outside. We don't have a building to stand in anymore since the original building has been raised. So we will be outside. It is in the early evening before the dinner hour. It's not going to be a long ceremony, but of course we will have a ceremonial formal groundbreaking. So I'm hoping that everybody can come. We have invited dignitaries from the community as well as our staff members, students, parents, and of course the board members. So this is a community-wide event. It's a celebration for all of us. And I've also extended a personal invitation to all of our neighbors from around the immediate area surrounding where the new school will be. As many of you are aware, many of those individuals have come to the meetings and have given us feedback and input, so I thought it was important to be able to reach out and personally invite them to come to groundbreaking as well. The other event that I'm excited to announce is the formation of our Equitable Practices Committee. I've sent information out again to members of the community, to parents, to students, and to our entire staff, inviting them to come to the middle school gym on October 11th. The reason it's scheduled in the gym is because I'm very hopeful that we're going to have a very large crowd that the library wouldn't have been able to have accommodated. So I hope people will come and will be interested in examining the future of our district through the eyes of the many different children that we have in our community, and really working together so that we can begin to formulate some plans for how can we ensure equitable learning opportunities and high achievement for all of our students. So it should be very interesting. We hope that many people will be willing to make a long-term commitment, because one of the first areas of focus that we have for the first evening is to actually form subcommittees that will be working on certain areas that we've identified that we feel we would like to see considerable improvement in. So hopefully people will be willing to make that commitment and come out and help us with this very important work as we move forward into the future. So that's it for me. Thank you, Dr. Taratuski.
Okay, very good, thank you. I just want to reiterate that I really would strongly invite or encourage our board members to come to that meeting. Dr. Hacker and I have been in some discussions about equitable practices, and it's a really important part of our future as a district going forward. All right, new business. Number 1, personnel attachment. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: administrative personnel, certificated personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, extra pay for extra responsibilities, and conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan? Aye. Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski? Dr. Tartuski?
Aye. Number 2, Cristaldo Associates, Inc., contract. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between the School District of Springfield Township and Cristaldo Associates, Inc., for on-site interpreting services for the 2018-2019 school year as per the attachment G. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Tartuski?
Aye. Number 3, Chester County IU Brandywine Virtual Academy. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between the School District of Springfield Township and the Chester County Intermediate Unit for services rendered by the Brandywine Virtual Academy from August 27, 2018 to June 7, 2019, as per the attachment H. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Tartuski?
Aye. Number 4, school year services. PHMC Integrated DBA Fairwald FNA Wordsworth Academy. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between Fairwald Academy and Springfield Township School District for student 201-809-17-01 for the 2018-2019 school year. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Tartuski?
Aye. Number 5, Wevideo, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between the School District of Springfield Township and the Wevideo for Schools licenses for a 3-year contract from September 5th, 2018 through September 4th, 2021 in the amount of $11,110. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Tartuski?
Aye. Number 6, Renaissance, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between the School District of Springfield Township and Renaissance for Renaissance Accelerated Reader and Star Reading for the middle school and Erdenheim for the period of August 1st, 2018 through July 31st, 2019 in the amount of $9,437.46. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye. Number 7, E Plus Group, Inc., recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the end-of-term buyout lease between the School District of Springfield Township and E Plus Group, Inc. for 300 HP 604 laptops in the amount of $34,322.54. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye. Number 8, Social Sentinel Software, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the purchase of Social Sentinel software at a cost of $1,828 as part of the consortium agreement with the MCIU. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? I actually have a question. What is Social Sentinel software for?
Social Sentinel software is a software service that basically scans every type of social media that is out there online and identifies through the use of keywords, geographic location and terms, other terms that might be unique, for example, to our student population in Springfield Township. And when they sense a threat or a concern over a student with mental health or any other type of crisis, they alert selected individuals, usually administrators within the school system, so that we can act upon that. So it essentially sends us alerts. Depending upon the number of things that they pick up, we might get as many as 10 a day. It might be as few as none or 1 a day. But they send those alerts to us to notify us, we had a concern over this. We have the option to contact the police if we feel it's necessary, or it's something that we can act on by contacting parents. But it gives us another window into concerns that might be out there for our student population.
Is this something we've been using, or this is new?
This is brand new. This is a new vendor that was brought to us by Dr. George of the IU. We heard about this at our superintendent's conference last May, and all of the superintendents agreed that this was something that we felt was very valuable for us to have.
Any other comments, questions?
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus? Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye. Number 9, ambulance service agreement for the STHS home football games, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement with the Community Ambulance Association of Ambler, CAAA, for standby service during STHS's home football games for the 2018 season in the amount of $2,100. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Just a question on the use of standby services for football versus other varsity sports. Is it standard practice for it to be on football?
Yes. We have it for football every single season, generally because the incidence of injury is much greater with football than with other sports.
Is it required by like state or any of the athletic associations, or is it by choice?
It's not required, but we feel it's important to have them.
Mr. Bedard?
Aye.
Mr. Chapman?
Aye.
Ms. Jordan?
Aye.
Mr. Lapidus?
Aye.
Ms. Nelson?
Aye.
Ms. Sarsfield?
Aye.
Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
Dr. Teretuski?
Aye. Any public comments on non-agenda items? None. Future meeting dates. Our interim board meeting will be held Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018 at 7 p.m. in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. And our regular school board meeting will be held Tuesday, October 16th at 7 o'clock in Freeze Memorial Lobby. We have many other things that are going on in October also. And so those all will be posted on our website.
Just one quick announcement, a reminder about some committee meetings. We have an Academic Affairs Committee meeting on September 24th. And we just scheduled a Property Committee for September 28th at 8:15 in the morning. The Academic Affairs is at 5 p.m. And I'm looking to try to schedule a Policy Committee meeting for Monday, October 1st. That would also be at around 5:15 in the afternoon. So I'll be sending an email out to Policy Committee members about that one probably sometime tomorrow morning.
Property Committee?
Pardon me? The date is Friday, September 28th. The 28th is Property Committee, Academic Affairs is the 24th.
All right. Okay, great. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good evening.